Fantastic. Thank you.
Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming. It's a pleasure to be here today as the MPP, and welcome everyone to this exciting announcement. Thank you, Mayor Bradley and staff, for hosting us at Sarnia City Hall, and thank you to all the city staff that are here today. As the member of provincial parliament for Sarnia-Lambton, I'm extremely pleased to be welcoming to Sarnia-Lambton my good friends and colleagues, Ontario's 26th Premier, the Honourable Doug Ford, and of course, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Honourable Rob Flack. I'm out of wind from running up them stairs, guys. The Premier and the Minister of Housing are in town today to share some very important news with Mayor Bradley and the City of Sarnia, and to recognize the efforts that the team here at the City have been making in support of the Ontario government to deliver on its promises and priorities. Now, I'd like to welcome Sarnia's Mayor Mike Bradley to come forward and say a few words on his behalf and the City. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob, and welcome, Mr. Premier. We call Bob the Mayor of Lambton County. He's a great MPP and he works hard every day. Mr. Premier, welcome to Sarnia, the largest city on the Great Lakes, on Lake Huron. Welcome to Sarnia, which has a First Nations territory beside it. Welcome to Sarnia, that has a community, and I see them out there, business, labor, working together. It's true collaboration. I know you were at Kilgore earlier today and saw exactly how it works to create jobs in Ontario. I also welcome you to one of the few debt-free cities in this country. And we did it the hard way. We cut. We weren't like Hazel. We didn't use development charges. We cut, and we use all that money we're not spending to the bankers, 15 cents on the dollar. That 15 cents is going straight back into our community. And that's why we can afford to do some of the things we couldn't do in the past. The key message today, though, we are Eastern Canada's energy hub. When the Prime Minister was talking out west about developing this energy hub, and I applaud that direction, and I applaud Ontario's support for that, had to remind him, you have it all here in Sarnia. Hydrogen, the facilities, the research, the skilled labor workforce. And when these discussions take place about expanding our energy direction in this country, let's not leave Sarnia behind. We've got too much here already to not grow that, and that includes pipelines. If I have a choice between pipelines, rail, shipping, pipelines are the answer. And there are 26 pipelines into this community. From the west, from Pennsylvania, they are safe and they create jobs. And I know, Mr. Premier, your government's been working hard with Ottawa to protect Line 5. 5,000 products are created out of that particular pipeline that ends in Sarnia. It creates a lot of added value to the Canadian economy. And I know, again, the government's working on that, but we need to end it sooner than later. It's been 5 years and it's stifling investment here. I would also say that I applaud your work on the tariff issue and the trade issue. Your voice has been strong. And I'm one of the few mayors left that still agree with elbows up, because it's important. I've been on the border with the issues for many years, and I know from experience it's the tough approach that will work. And I applaud the Prime Minister too, that we're giving him time on the long game. I understand the long game, but it's helpful to have someone throwing the short game right now and getting the message across that we're not going to be bullied, we're not going to be pushed around, we're Canadians first. And you know, I'm going to say to you, Mr. Premier, in this community, we're about to talk about this announcement, we can't grow to the north, we can't grow to the south, we can only grow to the west, unless you're willing to annex Michigan. It would put the Tigers and the Jays in the same division, so it would be welcome. I just want to conclude about this announcement, that it may not look like a lot of money in the scheme of things, the $400,000, but it's on top of $400,000 we received last year, which we gave to the county. And I believe the warden's here today, because it was to help social housing and affordable housing. This money will be going to help develop the only area that we can expand in the city to the east, Wellington Road, Malden Road area. And 3,000 housing units can be created out of this money, which is huge, of all sorts of diversity of housing units. This will make a difference. The 400,000 is on top of 7 million we got from the province last year on the infrastructure for this road. So this is a groundbreaking move forward for this community. We can have that area serviced and up and running within the next year or two, and that's an important part for the growth of the city. So I just conclude by saying, on the tariff and trade issue, I know it's an intense and deep issue, especially as a border city. Instead of elbows up, I'm going to borrow from that great American philosopher, Tom Petty. We will not back down. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. Obviously a great honor to be back in Sarnia. We were here last year to announce this, Bob. We were here last year when we brought some Building Faster funds, so 2 years in a row. Well done, team. Warden, I see you. We saw you at AMO, and councillors saved me from getting hit by a car yesterday morning in Ottawa before you're allowed. Well, you're my wingman, and I appreciate it very much. It's as I think everybody knows, Mayor Bradley is one of, not the longest, I might point out, serving mayors in the province of Ontario. What is it now, 37 years, sir?
Time off for good behavior.
Yeah. But it's only Mayor Cranston Milton, who's, I think, been there 105 years, if you tell him, but it's 45 years, if you can believe it. I saw him in Ottawa as well, but great public service, well done, and thank you very much. The fact remains that we're here, the fact that you're here still is a testament to your longevity, your ability to bring a community together, your skill and expertise in leading this great community. I look at the picture there of Sandy McKenzie, and I know he's buried here. Second Prime Minister of Canada. Was he the warden or mayor? So what was he? No, he was stonemason. Yeah, stonemason, but great history.
He was a Liberal, though.
Yeah. Well, as Bill Davis used to say, we can't help that he was politically confused. So anyways, it is great to be here. It's also wonderful to be here alongside my great friend and colleague, MPP Bob Bailey. Bob and I have known each other a long time. He's a great friend, and I know he works tirelessly for each and every one of you. And I know that when there's anything you need, Bob's, what do you call him, Mayor? The Mayor of Lambton County, sorry, Warden, but Bob, I don't think that trumps you, sir, but certainly he's a partner in crime to get things done for Lambton County. And of course, it's a pleasure to be here with Captain Canada, our Premier, Premier Ford, who I think has done an outstanding job of standing up to the American bully, I would say, for sure. I enjoy, Premier, watching you on CNN and Fox and all the various media outlets, and we're always cheering and laughing and having fun, so keep up the good work on that. You know, as the Mayor said, being a border town, we know that Sarnia is a target for those Trump tariffs. And we also know that you have the support of our entire caucus, cabinet, and Captain Canada behind me, who's committed to your ongoing success. In Ontario and across Canada, we are in the midst of a generational housing crisis. Generational, the likes that we've never seen before. Our population has grown significantly. Our housing starts have not kept pace. This we know. We have a supply issue. We also have a cost issue. Today, we are a population of 16 million people. Back in the day, the Premier will tease about this later, when I was in high school, it was half the population. So think about the unbelievable exponential growth we've seen in this province. Over the years, costs have risen to the point where families, first-time home buyers, and seniors are being priced out of the market. This is not a new story, but it's all too consistent. Our government recognizes that this reality has to change, and it has to change quickly. That is why we introduced the $1.2 billion in Building Faster funds in 2023 to reward municipalities like Sarnia that lead by example when it comes to cutting red tape and getting the conditions to get homes built and built faster. The province does not build houses. You, the municipality, do not build houses. The federal government does not build houses. What we do is create the conditions for builders to do what they do best, and that is to build homes. And through the Building Faster funds, we are rewarding municipalities who build homes with the funding for infrastructure, because we know that without infrastructure, you cannot build homes, without water access, roads, sewer systems, and more. And if you heard the Premier just a couple of days ago in Ottawa, we announced another $1.6 billion for infrastructure across the province, now totaling $4 billion. So we're stepping up and creating a strong economy so we can afford to give you that money to invest in the infrastructure to get homes built. We're not just stopping there. Recently, Bill 17, the Protect Ontario by Building Faster and Smarter Act, became law. It's a very comprehensive piece of legislation that will increase the certainty for home builders and reduce the time it takes to get shovels in the ground. The stark reality is that it takes too long and it costs too much to build homes in Ontario. Too long, too expensive, and we're changing that. Our goal is simple: to ensure more people can own their piece of Ontario, their own piece of Canada. It's the quintessential Canadian dream for countless of hardworking families across our province, and it should and remain attainable. Alongside my colleagues, industry and municipal partners like Mayor Bradley and his council, we will make the dream of home ownership come true for thousands of families in this province. We know that building more homes means better lives, stronger communities, and a brighter future for the people of this great province. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Captain Canada, the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario.
Thank you. Well, first of all, it's great to be here in Sarnia. Beautiful town, beautiful people. Alongside, you just heard from Minister Flack and Bob. I'll tell you, you're a champion for this whole region. And I wish you could see Bob in full flight at caucus meetings, just cheering on Lambton County, Sarnia, the whole area, and always promoting this region for more jobs, more homes, more infrastructure, more schools, more health care. So thank you for what you do every single day, Bob. And I got to give a shout out to Mayor Bradley and Warden as well, and all the councillors. Nothing happens without a united group, and I want to thank you, Mayor Bradley, for hosting us here today and the great work that you do every single day. And I love people that have balanced books. You're a prudent fiscal manager with a big social conscience, and that's what we need. Folks, we all know this is a serious time for our province. President Trump's tariffs are taking direct aim at Ontario, causing economic uncertainty and hurting families and businesses. Here in Sarnia, home to the Blue Water Bridge, Canada's second busiest commercial border crossing, we are seeing the impacts of that uncertainty firsthand. Our government was elected on a promise to protect Ontario and stand up for families and workers and companies and communities right across the province. Through our plan to protect Ontario, we're doing everything in our power to cut the red tape and make Ontario and Canada the strongest, most competitive, resilient, and self-reliant economy in the G7. We're investing more than $200 billion through our plan to build so we can prepare for growth and keep workers on the job no matter what. That plan includes new highways, transit, hospitals, schools, and homes. Here in Sarnia, we're investing almost $32 million to replace the CNR bridge on Highway 40, with construction already started in March 2025. We're providing over $12 million for Blue Water Health's Community Addictions Hub, and we're building the new Trillium Villa nursing home, giving 160 residents a modern, comfortable place to call home. We're expanding schools, like the addition of the Earl Village Public Elementary, making room for nearly 50 more students. And we're making record investments to build new homes faster. Earlier this week, I announced that our government is increasing our municipal housing infrastructure program to $4 billion to support housing enabling infrastructure and get more homes built. That program is already providing nearly $8 million right here in Sarnia to help build more than 2,700 new homes. And today, I'm here with even more good news. 2 years ago, our government established the $1.2 billion Building Faster Fund to encourage municipalities to speed up approvals, issue permits, and get shovels in the ground faster. Municipalities that hit at least 80% of their target will receive funding through this program. with money that can be used for housing and community infrastructure, so even more homes can be built in the years to come. Today, after Sarnia beat its 2024 housing target by an incredible 198%, I love that number, 198. Some people struggle to hit 80, 90, 100, but Mayor and Warden and the councillors, and do you know who makes this happen too, are the staff. You can't do anything without the staff. I've walked a mile in the shoes of the city councillors, and so I just appreciate everything the staff does. I'm delighted to hand over a check for $400,000 to the city. I want to congratulate Mayor Bradley and his whole team for his leadership in helping get more homes built. He's an absolute champion for the city of Sarnia, and I'm just so pleased to be able to work with him. Mayor, I love what you were saying about the pipeline. So I'll tell you, when had the COF, the Council of Federation, and I went out to Alberta, and then I met with the Prime Minister. I'm all for pipelines on one condition. We're making the steel pipes here in Ontario, and that pipeline is coming to Sarnia, because there was two options, folks. You shoot that pipeline all the way out east, and that's fine, we can do that, but we're rerouting that pipeline down to Sarnia to create more opportunities and economic development. So hopefully next year I can come back with a bigger check and just keep going, keep building the dream of home ownership alive for people here in Ontario. And I just want to thank all of you for hosting me here today, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We will now take questions from the media. Please come to the microphone and state your name and outlet. Just a reminder to the media, it's just one question and one follow-up. First question.
Lauren Stallone with CTV News. Premier, this is about the PowerCo announcement. They just announced big contracts with Canadian Steel Company and a local construction company. If you could just touch on how important this is to the Canadian steel industry and trade jobs in Ontario.
It's absolutely critical, and I just want to say thank you to them, parent company, Volkswagen, and anyone has a chance, drive by. This is going to be the 4th largest building in the world. And then they're going to have their suppliers all behind their main building. It's going to create thousands of jobs right across the province, and we're just so happy that they're using local companies. And I'll pass it over to Flacky, or Minister Flack. I call him Flacky. I'll pass it over to Minister Flack. That's his neck of the woods. That's his area, so I'll hand it to you, Minister.
Well, thank you, Premier. PowerCo made a huge announcement just a couple of years ago, and there were some naysayers, but at the end of the day, the Premier's right. If you get a chance, drive by. It is going to be an unbelievable site, 4th largest in the world, and get this, 3,000 direct jobs at the plant. 3,000, 30,000 jobs across the province. So when you look at the tertiary businesses, the support businesses, we're seeing people interested. I was talking to Minister Fedeli just the other day, yesterday, driving home, Scott, from Ottawa, and he's coming in on Sunday. We're really excited. This is really good news for the region, and it's going to support this region as well, Bob and Mayor. As I said, those other jobs, the tertiary jobs, the supportive jobs, people will come and invest in all of our communities in southwestern Ontario, including Sarnia, right here to support this great project. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. And it's 16 million square feet. It's pretty staggering. 16 million square feet, so it's going to be massive.
Hi, my name's Nathan from the Sarnia Journal. I just have a quick question and then a follow-up.
Sure.
Doug, do you know the average price of a home in Sarnia, Lambton?
I can't say I do,
All right,
but Bob would be able to tell me, and I bet the mayor would be able to tell me. What's the price of the average home?
we're at,
That's pretty good.
that sold this month is $550,000. So I'm curious, and this is my question, Premier. You've brought every important person, or at least people that think that they are important, into Sarnia Lambton together to announce less than the cost of a single-family home here. How is this anything but theater? Framing your government as helping in the middle of the worst housing crisis we've ever seen.
Well, first of all, thank you for those kind words and that compliment. We don't think we're anything special. I want to tell you very clearly, I'm the average guy that puts his pants on one leg at a time. And we all work our backs off for the people. That's our goal, is to make sure that we protect the people, to make sure that we create the environment and conditions for companies to come here and invest. That 409 companies in 2024 came and invested $40 billion, created 25,000 jobs. That's my job. My job is to protect the people, protect families, and protect businesses and make sure everyone has a job. But we're going to keep building and making them affordable homes. And you know what's ironic about your comment? I got off the airplane, and we got to support you somehow with that airport. It seemed pretty quiet in there. But I got off the airplane, and we drove by a community right beside the airport. And I told my assistant, I said, ask the OPP if we can pull into that community, because that's a beautiful community that I want to duplicate. The prefab homes that I saw, I just drove by. I have to go inside, and I'm going to drive through it. These are the ideas that we're thinking about every single day to make life more affordable. But do you know the foundation of our healthcare, our education, our infrastructure is one thing? It's our economy. And without our economy, we have nothing. And that's what we're going to do, is drive the economy as hard as we can. Thank you.
Josh Boyce with Blackburn News. Premier, I was wondering, you mentioned that $1.6 billion in additional funding for municipal housing infrastructure program, about $8 million locally that we'll see. Can you expand on that, just what will be able to be done with that money here?
Well, I guess the best person to answer that is the mayor. He's going to be receiving that money, so go ahead, Mayor.
Thank you. I do want to make the point, this 400,000, apparently this alleged journalist isn't paying attention. That's on top of 400,000 last year, and it's going to open up another 8 million from the province to open up an area for over 3,000 homes of all sorts. That's what the vision is here and with the province. And if I'm answering your question, Josh, it's about all these things coming together. This will help us develop the structure. It'll help us develop also the Health Heart Hub, which is vitally important to this community. All these things are integrated. It's a jigsaw puzzle. It's not just one announcement. It's a number of announcements that are building a better community and a better province.
And that 8 million, is that spread over a number of years, or what's the funding formula like there?
Go ahead, Mayor.
We've been, as the minister knows, we've been accessing these funds on a regular basis, doing infrastructure throughout the community, and we'll continue to do that. But again, this 400,000 will lead us to bringing forward 7 million from the province to develop water and sewer services into the research park area. That Wellington Road part from Modeland will go all the way to Blackwell. And that's the grand vision. We cannot grow, as I said earlier, to the north. We can't go to the west unless the Premier does want to annex Michigan, or to the south because of the industrial area. So this is opening up this community for hundreds of jobs and hundreds, several thousand houses. Who would argue with that?
Thank you. This concludes. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to add on infrastructure. If you talk to the Water and Sewer Main, am I getting that right, Scott, Association, we need $160 billion of infrastructure funds invested in this province for new, to support housing and business, but also to replace aging infrastructure. Have you got aging infrastructure? We all do. So we're looking at new and innovative ways to fund that infrastructure, and that 400,000 is on top, as the mayor noted, the 7 million that came in. So if we don't get the infrastructure in place, you don't get the building in place, and that infrastructure investment are going to create jobs, more jobs, and strengthen our economy.
Thank you. This concludes today's press conference.
That's great. Thanks, folks. I appreciate you. Good job. Thank you.